morning. Happy Tuesday. You're back on Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices, 860 WNOV, 106.5 FM. I'm Brian Sanders here along with my supervisor slash partner in crime, Miss
Latoya Black.
Latoya Black. You're Latoya White, Latoya Black. What's going on, sir?
Nothing. Seemed like a nice day.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful. Good morning to the production team in the building. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing? What's going on? How y'all feeling today?
What's happening?
Jubilant for me.
Jubilant, yeah.
That's wonderful.
You know what's going on over there?
That's a big old word, man.
Can't spell it, but I feel it.
Right.
I'm trying to see if I can put it on the
J-U-B lit.
I'm lit. Jubilant.
Jubilant, just solid out, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
Mhm.
See that, Tori? That's what you were talking about. The wind chills. It feel like 25 still.
Man, it feel like
So it ain't 50. It's
degrees
33 degrees. It say it feel like 25. So that's what we're dealing with, y'all. I did, and I'm glad that Toya popped up with the weather today because this is a perfect segue to one of the things I want to mention yesterday when they was talking about how the 2024 winter was 2024. The year 2024 was the hottest year, one of the hottest years on record for Milwaukee. So, you know,
Yeah, they said we having a lot
Yeah.
of just for some CD news. They said we having a lot of lines bust because it wasn't so cold out there this year. It wasn't no snow. But they say they copper lines. They not lead, so that's good.
So what's that? What type of lines? Water lines?
The water lines. A lot of water mains keep breaking.
Yeah, I know.
They said they had over 100 this month.
I remember watching the show a couple weeks ago, and I remember seeing them do some work right out here in front of the studio. I mean, you see it so much across the city. But I do want to as well shout out to our city workers and everybody that's working hard out there to keep things flowing.
Out there.
Make sure y'all taking care of yourselves and getting y'all some nutrient filled. Right, yeah, for real. I mean, anytime you in water underneath 50 to 60 degrees, to me, I feel like it's a problem. So but shout out.
I'll be thinking about the firemen too. Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to all our servicemen and women across the city of Milwaukee that's doing their thing, making sure y'all taking care of us and and keeping our water running, our business and electric up. So today we of course we're going to start off with just catch y'all up with things going on in the community. I know we like to at Wisconsin Voices always highlight some changes or some things that we've been seeing in the news, and of course bring in some partners. So like I said, next week we will have two people on. We have the creators of the music app Conquest, and if you're interested in apps or music apps, that'll be a good time to tune in. I hope y'all call in if you're interested in just knowing about apps, maybe just the process of an app. And then outside of that, we will have PDS or Purpose Driven Sisters, the executive director / CEO of that organization, Miss Ryan McNair, will be in the building. So those are some of the interviews that you can look forward to next week on Be a Voice Radio.
We got a long time from that one.
Right. Toya, I gotta ask you to, as always, what were you looking at last night on the news? Because I know you usually tap in. We always talking about something.
Oh yeah.
What you see?
It was a couple of things going on. First of all, his new defense secretary and Tom Homan got on there too, talking about
who you talking about?
For ICE. The Tom Homan is the head of ICE.
Okay.
And he was on there talking last night about their raids are mainly towards criminals. They've been watching them and been seeing who's illegal and here breaking the laws. In Boston, you had the governor that didn't promote ICE, but the young men that they captured last week were criminals, and she promoted that. Was saying we don't want criminals here breaking the law. I agree. I feel that same way. People that's coming here, I don't feel like there are illegals, but I feel like if you are breaking the law, then you are illegal, and you don't deserve to be here and bring all that havoc to our communities. No, I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
But I do believe in people have a right to the American dream.
Try to make a way.
Like we just celebrated Martin Luther King, and what did he say? That he had a dream that all of us would be one day treated equal.
All right.
By the creed of America. We hold these truths sound that all men are created equal. So that's how I look at that.
Okay.
But also their defense, the Department of Defense secretary who was appointed, and and he literally took the DEI, which that's the Division of Equality and Inclusion, out of the Pentagon, and planned on taking it out of the entire Army, revamping the whole Army, fired half of the federal agents that were 50 federal agents that was investigating Trump for his last run.
Mm-hmm.
And also they're going to take transgenders out of our Army. So it's a lot of discrimination and dividing in this country right now. And it seemed like he got in to have a big vendetta. And I hope people don't understand. I hope people don't regret boasting and turning their, and going with their biases, because just like you don't like to get discriminated on, we shouldn't be discriminating on other people. They have rights as well.
Yeah.
So that's what I was watching on the news last night.
Okay, thank you. We had to break down from the coverage from Tori. Yeah, it was it was some things going down, like she said, and I know we even because we had some good convo yesterday, and we got to finish off. We was talking about just like the angles of everything. You just mentioned, of course, that guy who just got put in for defense secretary, Department of Defense or defense secretary, and he has
Department of Justice.
Was it Department of Justice? I thought it was Department of Defense.
Yeah.
Department of Defense. Department of Defense. Yeah, and I know he has some questionable things on his record, but I know just since you were talking about the ICE, before I get to the topic about the federal grants and loans being paused, we were talking about the media campaign they put out with. If y'all didn't get to see the clip, I think I did send the clip out to somebody. My uncle yesterday, he wanted to see it, and I sent the clip of Dr. Phil on the street when you was talking about the illegals. But the media campaign, for people who are interested in seeing that, I think they were encouraging them to download the app. But this is a media campaign coordinated by the rollout of the ICE initiative, including in Chicago, where television personality Phil McGraw and Tim Homan broadcast raised millions of viewers. So McCraw encouraged people to download an app in order to see the coverage of their arrests. So it was an app that they were doing all this stuff on yesterday. Or day before yesterday now, but I'm sure we'll hear the updates of what went down in Chicago in the next coming days.
and they said they on their way to New York now.
I thought they seemed like they was already in New York.
No.
Oh, them two.
No, yeah, not them. I'm saying Holmes.
Holman.
Holman,
so
said
Dr.
that
Phil
they
more than likely going with him to New York. Then.
And New York is one of the highest populations of immigrants. That's pretty much where everybody comes.
Yeah, definitely.
What I really don't understand is
what's up.
Why is it that Dr. Phil is taking this moment to make it more of a television show type, capturing the footage of these people being arrested and then asking them, what did you do? Like, what's on your record and things like that to embarrass these people? Like, why do you have the cameras there? Like, people know that this stuff is happening, but you are documenting this not to help the American people, but to help yourself in whatever.
Yeah, and
because they doing this fake news, y'all. I picked that up last night. So what that is, they're doing this fake news. They already been investigating them, and them particular immigrants are criminals. So what they're doing is going to them and going to them first to arrest them, so they can paint the picture that all immigrants are criminals, and that is definitely not true. A lot of people come here for that American dream.
Yeah,
is that all men are created equal, and if they work hard and do good, they will have a better life. And that's what I don't know a person that have good intentions that came to America that wasn't their truth being told, that they wanted a better life for them and their family. So it's just weird that they doing the fake news like that and painting a picture like that, but they already had been investigating them. he said it out his own mouth last night that they had already been investigating those particular in all those different cities.
Yeah.
In Boston, Chicago, New Orleans, I think North Carolina and Florida. They had already been investigating those people and knew that they were criminal immigrants, but criminal and were doing, gang related crimes. They had one group, think they were Argentinian, and they were going to a nightclub, and they literally was all going out to Kiki, and they went there and raided them and picked all them up and said they were a gang. So they had already been investigating these people. They are using that as the media run of all immigrants are criminals or break the law in America, and that's just not true.
Yeah, well, we know that. You know that. Some of our best restaurants in this city come from immigrants who came here
and
to make a way.
And that was a chef.
Yeah, I know. I seen that.
Talked about
yeah,
that.
I seen that yesterday.
One of Milwaukee's.
She worked at Moxie and a couple of other restaurants. Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was even closer to home. Her, that she fed people and actually was, a part of the community, in that sense, in the culinary area space. So again, condolences to that young lady from Milwaukee who was a sous chef and chef that tragically passed in Dubuque. So kind of sliding over to another topic, what I seen was the pause of the federal loans and grants. I know this has been a thing too. So, the White House is pausing federal grants and loans starting Tuesday, as we see the Trump administration is starting to, again, shake up spending and causing confusion and panic amongst different people across the across the country that rely on these financial benefits as a lifetime. And the administration officials said the decision was necessary, that all the funding complies with Trump's executive orders. So all funding applied with Trump's executive orders. This is what they're saying. All Trump's. So anything that. Okay, let's keep on going. Which are intended to undo. So let me go back, y'all. Administration officials said the decision was necessary to ensure that all funding complies with Trump's executive orders, which are intended to undo progressive steps on transgender rights, environmental justice, diversity, equity, inclusion, as we talked about, or DEI efforts. They also said that federal assistance to individuals would not be affected by, including Social Security, Medicaid, food stamps, and such as other programs. But I was looking at this, and this is what got me, this quote right here, and I've seen it somewhere else, but this one was broken down on the way, and y'all tell me what y'all think about this, and 414-444-5253 if y'all got any questions, comments, and concerns about what we're talking about on either level, whether it's the weather or anything we said in between or later on. The use of federal, and this is a quote from, who is this from right now? This one is from somebody in this administration right here. This is what is pretty much saying that the use of federal resources to advance Marxist equity, transgenderism, and Green New Deal social engineering policies is a waste of taxpayer dollars and does not improve the day-to-day lives of those we serve, wrote Matthew O. Vaith, the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget. So what they're saying is the Democrats and independent organizations swiftly criticize the administration, describing it as actions as illegal because Congress has already authorized the money. And either way, one more thing before we get off that, and I get y'all. I want to hear how y'all feel about that. This is from Chuck Schumer today, and thanks to the La Familia for sending this quote over this morning. Congress approved, and this is from Chuck Schumer. He said this. Thanks for GMA for the site on this quote. Congress approved these investments, and they are not optional. They are the law. These grants help people in red states and blue states support families, help parents raise kids, and lead to stronger communities. Mm-hmm. What do you think? What do y'all think? So many different organizations to be impacted. You got to think about, and I was just thinking about places for revitalization is just in the city, helping people with grants and federal grants to get things done at their house. You know, the little things that we may not even think about that some of our grandparents, uncles, aunties, and other family members may need. You know, so
Mm-hmm.
them wanting to cancel money or cut money that does not
That's
align
already
with their agenda.
designated.
Yeah, that already designated doesn't align to their agenda. Just showing just more, lack of care for the American citizen. This is not even a red or blue thing for me. This is just about the lack of care for the American citizen.
It's using American citizens as pawns
Yes.
to be to have political war, because
Yep.
that's what you seeing right now.
Yeah.
Political war. It's
Selfish.
literally choosing to only work for the people that voted for you.
Yeah.
But presidents are supposed to come in and work for all America and do decisions that is best for all Americans.
Yeah. He's not only hurting your
I'm not
people
gonna
on your side
Say
that
nothing about y'all president
that you
but,
voted for. You're actually hurting. You're hurting everybody with
You're
the
hurting
words.
everybody.
And you're delaying federal grants and loans and funding for people who need support and things done right away. This pause could pause somebody getting any type of serious medical assistance that we don't even know that goes underneath some of these grants and these
Mhm.
loans. We don't know everything that goes into these grants and these loans and how this money is broken down. As we see through a lot of these organizations, some of these programs, the federal funds that go through like a Job Corps. I've worked that. I worked at Job Corps when they went through and had that government shutdown back in 2013. And I have friends that lost jobs and people had worked there with me because of the department that they worked in. I was saved at that point because I worked in residential and they had to keep residential open for the students. But I had friends I worked with and coworkers I worked with that lost their jobs. People losing their jobs and their opportunities out here just because we want to play, this game. Oh, what's up? You got a question? Okay.
Guess out there.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. But yeah, people want to play these games at the top, and all you're doing is jeopardizing people in all different levels between all the way at the bottom, the middle, and everything in between, just because it doesn't align with your
beliefs,
your
politics,
or your administration,
your politics,
right, and your politics, right. All right, what we'll do is come back.
We'll take a break.
We're gonna come back and with our guest and talk about what he got going on and catch up with our boy from Mirror, Mr. Montreal Kane. You're on Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices, 860 WNOV 106.5 FM. Hey guys, welcome back to Big Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. Brian Sanders speaking.
There you go.
Hey, we're back here. This is my somebody gonna hear that and want to sign me. Look, that's
man, give you a job working at Fox Sports or something.
Brian Sanders here with the Fox Sports Breakdown. We want to give Fox no love. WNOV Sports Breakdown. There we go. Hey, so we got this is not even just a business partner or somebody I just know just in the realm of working and organizing. This is a brother I've known since I was in my teen years and watching the development of this guy. Partner with him. We did stuff, outside of, I guess just him calling me up like, hey man, you want to do this photo shoot? Yeah, if you ever need me in the future too, just tap in.
Absolutely.
I'll get back right if I gotta do some crunches.
I don't
or
need
something.
you to do contracts on my.
Hey, come on now, supervisor. Don't call me out right now. But no, this is a great dude, and he's done a lot for the community, and he does a lot of things, that people have tapped into. So I want to give him an introduction, just a little bit about him. I'm going to go to your LinkedIn because I like this, what it says right here. The mental health advocate and innovator, experienced multimedia instructor with a demonstrated history of working in the higher education industry, skilled in photography, accessibility, marketing, strategy, public speaking, and graphic design. Strong innovation, technology, and professional. And he's a hell of a musician, Mr. Montreal Kane. What's going on, man?
I don't know who wrote that.
Oh, you know what that? Oh,
I don't. That's the first time I heard it.
Well,
Thank you.
AI must have wrote that for you.
Somebody,
Yeah.
my wife.
Somebody.
Somebody.
There you go. Shout out to the wife.
Yeah, man.
Man, what's going on, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. I was listening to you all talk. It's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's a lot. So we're going to make sure that any photography opportunities, we got you. And I mean that.
Yeah.
And this is my call to action to everybody. For the folks at home, you got to get you some multiple streams of income,
Mm-hmm.
right? You can't get too comfortable.
Mhm.
Become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Understand that the new normal ain't normal, but it's ours. And as things continue to change, man, root yourself in faith. Be kind to yourself. Take breaks. Give yourself some mindfulness. And remember, don't one jive turkey stop the show.
No.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a part of us. We have had show resilience over hundreds of years when we come out, and that's what makes our DNA and our genetics pop the way it do, where we just keep going and we take these challenges that we get in these offices and these organizations we work with. We muster up that energy to overcome it and strategize and sit down. And we all of us in this room that have to sit down and I see how y'all work in the studio. Y'all got to come together and strategize. Toya, me and you, we did our strategies over the years on all types of stuff.
Absolutely.
And I sit back and watch. So this is what we do. So I totally agree. Yeah, I brought you on because one, before we get into all the great things you got going on, the things you've been doing, I just want to, this is your lane, man. You deal with the community and at-risk youth and adults that, have, maybe just have some, I don't want to say, like mental issues with maybe some what would you say? Just some.
I think we all need more mindfulness. 1 in 4 loved ones live with a form of mental illness like depression.
Yeah.
Right. So you're walking around. One of my young boys, he was a student of mine in 2018. He texted me. He said, "Hey, Pops, is it normal that I woke up sad 4 days in a row?" And so there's the undiagnosed, there's the untreated, and a lot of times folks just don't know.
Yeah.
And when it comes to the culturally relevant piece, I'm in these schools, I'm in community, and I'm telling them, ask for a mindfulness day. Take a wellness day from work. When you go to college, you ain't got to turn that paper in when it's due if you know you need more time and you're under stress and, the lived experiences that you're dealing with makes you want to unalive yourself. Because in our community, we don't know how to talk about that. Like, we don't actually say, I'm not okay. And so one of my missions for 2025 is to make communication the most masculine thing you could do. We have to learn to advocate for ourselves.
Sure.
And what happens is we push through, but we don't necessarily say, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
I can say at least, what's today? Monday? Twice last week I said, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
Today I played the drums. I played the piano. I was super stressed out before I went into work. Sat in the car for 30 minutes, vibed out, lift that joker right up off me.
Mhm.
Tomorrow I'll probably hit up the range or go swimming or something or, continue to allow myself to rest when necessary. I got to bed at 6 p.m. last night and I sat there from 6 to 10. And it's like I used to glorify the grind because I put my time in, right? I'm 18, 19, 20 years old. Oh man, late nights, early mornings. You know what I'm saying? 7 days a week. What's Friday? You excited? It's 4:58. We working, baby. I
You
did
was
that.
doing that for a long
I did that for 20 years,
time,
bro.
man.
Now
I
I'm
was,
You gotta slow down.
You said a
Yeah.
mouthful right there
Yeah.
because I feel the same.
yeah,
And put in all that time and you had to be one of the people to tell me all I was going through to like think about yourself, give yourself self-care, give yourself that mental time. It's okay to be alone. It's okay to think and talk to yourself and vibe out to some music. And that's literally what I do. Music is my therapy.
Yeah, speaking
Seriously.
of that, I just wanted to intertwine on that. Sometimes people feel like just because you're alone and that you're lonely, but what I found out was having alone time, you can find yourself in other things, and just because you are alone, that don't mean that you are lonely.
Yeah.
So it's just getting out of that mindset of, man, I'm by myself and what I'm gonna do and this and this and that. No, take that time for yourself. Clean and clear house, and then come back to it. And then you can be more effective in life. So,
yeah.
Mine was a life-changing situation that I didn't have no control over. But in the same sense, I was beating myself up and I kept going and kept coming to work and pushing and doing things, abusing myself, doing things that I didn't need to do, but trying to cover up my pain. Like he said, people, you keep going and you just try to put a shield on so everybody don't see that you really hurting in the inside.
Yeah.
But like music is my therapy. I promise you. I listen to all different genres. And
If I wasn't with y'all, I wouldn't have came. I debated, like, do I sit in the car and shed a tear before I come in here?
Yeah.
Or do I just come in regardless of what's going on?
right.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, it's no longer taboo to just take a minute for yourself.
Right.
You know, I was sharing with my church. I just got off of a call. We meet every Tuesday. I was like, yeah, keep me in prayer for this, and this. And as success comes, so does the attacks of the enemy. My daughter passed in October. September
condolences to
25th.
you.
Man, I'm still feeling it,
I know.
right?
Yeah.
Like, there are those moments where it's like, okay, I need to take a breath. I need to take a beat. I've had to redefine my accessibility to people. Like, I'm cool with not answering the phone. Don't take it personal. You know, me and my guy who was in the studio the other night, and I just told him, I was like, man, my daughter passed. Where was you at? And I knew it was a very uncomfortable conversation for him. And I had to learn. I'd rather be uncomfortable than out of communication.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to answer these tough questions.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and do the hard work, right? And then some days I'm going to just get low and you might not hear from me for a while. And that's okay. And we have to normalize that. This toxic masculinity, if you saying I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me, that's the Bible. But if you out here like, I don't need nobody, that's pride.
Yeah.
So we got to
That's
normalize
so
it.
true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I know for me personally, I experienced some losses real young. You probably remember, losing my mom at a young age. And that communication helped me out a lot. If I didn't have the people, and I had some challenges, people were just like, oh man, they was young and ignorant. When you gonna get over it type of stuff they were saying, they didn't understand.
Yeah, they ask you those weird
And
questions.
People say a lot of weird stuff, but I'm like,
they do. They
the
literally
communication, what I appreciated so much within that, not even just the weird comments and stuff that was going on within them weeks and months. I appreciate just everybody just being there and just straight up communicating with me during that time, like ask me how I felt. And I was vulnerable at that point. I was, so it's
keep it real,
that
Brian. You
communication,
still are not over it.
Yeah,
It's your mom.
Yeah.
It's the times you want to go talk to her.
No, you're not gonna get over
You
that.
never get
Right.
over it.
It's
You're
just-
never gonna get over your daughter, just like I'm never gonna get over my husband.
Yeah.
And I learned that through grieving because of my dad. We were the closest, and he passed on my birthday. And for years, I hated my birthday. And I was on my way to go visit him at the rehabilitation center he was at. He was doing much better, and they just happened to then clean his lungs for like a day or two, and they end up collapsing. But when they called me, it was like 3:30 in the evening on my birthday. I was just getting out the shower, getting dressed. I was like 38, finna go hang out and go see my dad, and then I'm gonna meet my sister at Potawatomi, and we gonna kick it like we do on my birthday. And for years, I beat myself up because everybody kept asking me, "We gonna get over it, okay? He gone, but he was older and he loved you. He was 82. He had you when he was older, and you should have expected this." And you don't never expect, okay, I know he had me older, but you still don't just expect your
Yeah.
loved ones to be gone.
Yeah, it's not.
So to this day, I would think about my dad, and on my birthday, it's not as fun for me like it is for everybody else where I
Right.
jump into it.
Yeah.
I always go back to on March the 23rd, 2012, I lost my best friend.
Right.
Mm.
Right.
I'm never going to forget that.
And I was
How
opening it up.
do you prepare when you know that date is coming?
From advice from you and some good advice from a lot of good people around me, I just tried to, like you said, take that time back, and I motivate myself.
Amen.
I listened to his favorite music at the time and think about, I remember him dancing, our Papa was a Rolling Stone. And his dad wasn't like that. His dad was great, but he loved that song. And I remember he always say he would, the number one song he wish he could have played and had his dad there when he played it was Luther Vandross, Dance with My Father Again.
Okay.
And so I always play them two songs and kind of motivate. Music is a therapy because it take you to another place. It can take you to a sad place. It can take you to a happy place.
Yeah.
When I first lost my husband, he really liked it, the older genre. So when I started playing music and the Isley Brothers, I broke down because I was like, man, I will never hear this with him again. It's a hole in the wall, and just listening to music, it was just broke down. And I had to keep making myself keep playing it and keep listening and bring up better memories. And once I started playing the music and thinking about fun times we were when we were listening to the different songs and stuff, it brings up a better thought now. So that's what really helped me get through my days.
Yeah.
Is literally playing music, especially when I'm sad. I would show you my playlist is country. I got a country song when people make me mad.
That part. Country song for people make you mad.
I'm gonna tell you, get around my family.
I was missing.
Yeah, because that's how they talk.
I was mentioning.
Willy Wonka.
I was mentioning that to say with just like as far as my experience, like the communication, and men not being, scared to, open up and be vulnerable within that. I think that's it's important. Even now, within what's going on now, what I really want to talk to you about was what do you think about the change in administration? What type of advice would you give to people out here that's just, a lot of people are nervous. Some people, they ready to go, they train to go. Some people are just like,
and then you're going to have a lot of transgender youth is what you don't realize. They already have those challenges of people picking on them and not understanding them. Now you have a whole president and his whole staff that is basically going to war with them, beating them up. So now you finna have a whole nother genre of kids that's really not going to understand them, set them back, and their mental health. People don't. I've been so thinking and worried about these poor babies because they just basically, and immigrants, they just basically went to war on them.
You mentioned earlier, Toya, how music helps you. There's evidence-based research backed by science that shows the music you listen to can lower depression, anxiety, and heart rate. If you don't have an attitude adjustment playlist, go to our website and borrow one of ours. It's mirrorcares.com. We got the OGs, we got the country, we got the alternative, right? I remember when I first bought the Prescriber's Guide, and it's about a $150 book that tells you the generic name for all the medicines that's prescribed and the side effects. I'll never forget this. I got a call 2 weeks ago from someone from the African American Roundtable asking for some support. There was a young person who was deemed as out of control, for lack of better words. They were only 2 years old. And the person reached out on someone's behalf. Hey, it's this kid. They're out of control. This, that, and the third. I need help. I said, what did they eat? About 30 minutes later, I think we gave them too much candy. I said, what were the ingredients?
Red dye.
And that's the thing. Like, we have to educate each other. We have to share that information, right? And we have to understand that everything that looks beautiful for you ain't good for you.
Look, check this out. I used to be telling folks on some playing jokes but being serious. man, 15 years ago, cracking jokes at the crib, or just even working at Job Corps. And that's been like 12, 13, 14 years ago. All my students was eating bunch of red dye, bunch of dyed color stuff. And I was like, man, all that red dye. And then we'd be looking at even just some of us growing up, all that red dye. And then we see how people were acting, how people act now, or their responses, or how they lash out. A lot of that is just from all the all that candy and high corn fructose syrups and all that stuff people was eating. Think about the blocks and hoods we grew up on. That's plenty yellow dye, red dye, purple, all that blue, yellow one, blue one, whatever that stuff is, a yellow 5. That's all we were eating and drinking growing up. And some of us was having it excessively. I remember seeing them bags, people's bags was like grocery bag size full of stacks. That stuff, the long term. Another one that bothers us, and I'm sorry, I gotta get off of that when we talk about.
You see, I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
I'm like, let me get here. I got you.
BPA is another thing. BPA that's inside our cans. A lot of us been infected by the things that's in that's in the canned soups, and it's in receipts as well. But BPA, a lot of us probably grew up eating out of cans, eating canned foods, a lot of things, and BPA is in a lot of canned products and plastic products as well. All these things was effects on the brain and brains of people in the inner city all across the country, and of course in our cities as well, especially in our Black communities. Because what do we have in our communities? Plenty corner stores that were full of snacks and unregulated candies that we were eating. That you see now, the Gatorade had a flame retarded ingredient in it up in 2012, 13. Shoot, it might be in there now. I mean, just the little stuff that you see, the 10 different preservatives, all that stuff is, that works on the brain. Go in there and look up something that you like to eat, y'all, candies and snacks, and then type it in and look at the effects of it, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
So let's do it in real time. I'm gonna find this little clip. I'm gonna play it from my phone.
Okay.
This past Sunday, I was able to take about 5 of the young men in my group, and we just went to the grocery store. And we went down every aisle. We looked at the ice cream. That's not ice cream. It's a frozen dessert. We looked at the Doritos with all of the different things.
Don't get me started on Doritos.
And so I'm going to put my phone up to the mic so you can really hear this clip. This was their response after learning what they saw. What you learned, how it make you feel?
I just read that Skittles Littles have titanium dioxide in it. That's something that I use to clean my bathtub with. That made me feel like, should I really be eating it? Like, should I change my whole diet up or whatever?
And the question is, should I really be eating this? No, you shouldn't. I had the privilege and honor to sponsor for the 4th year with Queen Mother Jeanette Herrera and Supreme Moore King Fest just this past Monday. And there was a gentleman who was ordained by the good Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, and he was giving us 7 steps. Now y'all know sometimes preachers they be having them.
Oh yeah, that's at the end.
We didn't get to 7. We got 4. So I'm sure.
Oh, you stopped.
He did.
Because sometimes they'll stretch it. I got 2 more, y'all. I know y'all ready to go.
And so he kept saying this phrase that sticks with me. He said, "You can have a good rap, but if you ain't got no map, you won't accomplish nothing. You can talk good, but if you have a plan, you won't accomplish nothing." So he said, the first step to answer Brian's question, where do we go from here? What do we do now? DEI is under attack. It's going to affect so many people. We have to gather the information. That's step number 1. Number 2, we have to educate folks with the information in a structure that will liberate them. And number 3, we have to purify it so that it's not manipulated. It is important for us to share resources. People call us, I'm only one person. I remember when my loved one that got me into this work needed emergency crisis. Yeah. And this is at 3:45 in the morning. So all the places I call close at 11. So I'm like, what do? I get routed from Milwaukee, I get routed to Racine. I say, hey, can you send some mental health professionals, unarmed, no police? 4 squad cars show up at 3:45 in the morning, and I met them at the driveway and said, no, thank you. That's what really pushed me into this mission. The stuff that I needed for my family, it didn't exist. Yeah. And I had to learn to tell people, it's not a shameless plug. It's just, I'm doing for you what I do for myself. No. If you go to our website, mirrorcares.com/help, it has a bunch of resources for substance abuse counseling, mental health, Black therapists directory, because you shouldn't have to, the information should not be harbored. It should be shared and explored. And then this other thing I want to address too that you said, Brian, was what do we do? We have to practice altruism. Altruism is the unselfish caring for the well-being of another. So when you have these moments, I shared a testimony today with the team at the church about a brother who was just asking for some coffee at the church. We had coffee. Complimentary coffee, you got it, and eventually we put it away. He just kept asking about the coffee, Shout out to World Outreach. Y'all can catch me there every Sunday,
Mhm.
3410 West Silver Spring Drive, and we have a location at Oak Creek as well. But this brother, he came in, he wanted the coffee, he got the coffee. 25 minutes later, he came back out. You need me to buy a coffee machine for this place? I'm like, no, man. And he's like, the ones with the little cups. I said, but that only serve one person at a time. What if we got to serve 15? And the more we started talking, we having this dialogue. He said, yeah, man, I know. So y'all need a coffee machine? I said, man, we need a projector. We need this. We need that. Let's start going down the line. And then something said, well, not something. We call it the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Told me to be quiet and listen. You got 2 ears and one mouth. So I got quiet and I began to listen. And the brother started to share that he was recovering from alcoholism and that the coffee was an alternative to help him with his coping.
Mhm.
And that's the thing. Altruism is the unselfish caring for the well-being of another. We have to be kind,
Yeah.
Mhm.
right? We can't, in this day and age, we can't expect everybody to have the mental capacity of a bull, right? Like, oh, he's just strong. He just slow down.
Mhm.
We lost Brother John earlier, who was one of our aldermen, right? There's people who are unraveling right before us and we're not paying attention.
Yeah.
And so when we think about the attack across the country, we have to normalize recycling the black dollar. We have to normalize, and I said what I said, recycle the black dollar. I didn't say the orange one. I didn't say the maroon one. I'm saying specifically in the black community, within 6 minutes of cashing a check, the money leaves the community and goes to other places.
To another place.
So we have to normalize that. Let me spend money with you. Let me shop with you. Again, supervisor, love y'all, right? We worked in the nonprofit sector, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Yeah.
Squeaky wheel don't get the oil, right? So if you're not making a sound and say, hey, I can do that and I can accomplish this, right? I'm going to do the photography. I want to do the video. I'm going to do the web design. And I'm going to help you out with behavioral health challenges. And I'm going to go into the prisons. And I'm going to go and do a concert. Whatever it takes, that's what has to happen.
Good. Hey, real talk. I love that. Hey, this man is hitting the points on the perfect timing too of a call right here. So we got a call for Be a Voice Radio, Wisconsin Voices. Good morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good. This is Queen Mother Herrera. How you doing?
Hey, Mama. What's up, Mother Herrera?
Hey, my favorite people, my kings, my queen, my beautiful queen. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing good, Mama. It's glad to hear from you. I miss you.
Yeah, we ain't seen you in some weeks. Good to hear from you.
I miss y'all too.
Yeah, look like we gonna see you tomorrow. We look like we gonna be out there. The weather gonna be good for the pantry tomorrow. I think we're gonna be out there.
Isn't God good?
Yes, it is.
All the
I see you got
time.
my baby on. You got my baby on there.
Yeah.
Love you, Queen
I
Mother.
just snatched him up. I hit him in the clutch,
I
you know.
love you too, and thank you so much for talking about the King Fest celebration. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. We appreciate you.
Nothing. So I want to let everybody know. Look, without all of my babies, without you all, there wouldn't be no me. So I appreciate everything that y'all do for me.
We appreciate everything you do for us and the community, Mama.
Absolutely.
Everything.
We don't take it
All right.
light.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got a chance to call in, and these other people be on that 40 and 50 minutes. So
Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate you.
Thank you,
I
Mama.
appreciate you. Much love. Okay?
Much love.
Much
Queen.
love. Thank you.
Much
All right.
love,
Bye-bye.
Mama.
Since she called.
Okay, bye-bye. I forgot. I'm sorry. Y'all listening?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, my sister's son passed away Sunday. So,
Our condolences,
Yes,
Mom.
Yeah.
all right. Thank you.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
We love
We
you.
love you.
it. All right.
Stay strong, Mama. If you need me, you know my number.
Queen Mother was the first
Queen Mother,
person
yeah.
that I hugged and gave a kiss on the cheek during the pandemic. Seen her at a Walgreens, and literally she was like, baby, I need you. I want to do this King Fest thing. I don't know nothing about this tech or virtual stuff. And we've been rocking since then. And so
Mhm.
I'm just really grateful. I remember when my daughter passed, we were getting ready to get in the little procession line to go to the cemetery. And she seen me with all these young people. Now, normally I'm on point, right? All right, I got y'all. Got the rides, got the lifts, got the Ubers. Not that day.
Yeah.
I ain't had
I
it,
know,
right?
baby.
She said, she just drove up. They need a ride. They can get in with me.
Mhm.
She drove them to the cemetery, and those young men actually took the shovel with me and helped me bury my daughter. So I'm grateful for that.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for community, man. We got each other's back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do. We really do. We got another one on
We
the
got
line.
another caller on the air. Caller, you on the air?
Yes, I just want to say thank you all. Y'all so intelligent and uplifting, and I just appreciate WNOB, period. And I just love you guys to death. Thank you so much.
That's sweet.
Thank you. We love our community.
Yeah, we really love our community. Everybody up here you gotta be. We talk about
20
this all
years
the time.
strong. We're
Yes.
taking care of our people.
Yes,
in
20
our
years strong in
Yeah.
the community, and that's what we like to
Peace.
do. A piece, yeah, for real.
Not together,
Yep.
not added up.
No,
You
a
say
piece.
60 on
Yeah, right. It's
Yeah.
a lot of time right here in the community between
Yeah.
everybody up in here, even the ones behind the doors.
And
So thank
still
y'all.
doing.
And still doing it. So thank y'all, and thank y'all to everybody in the community. Before we go to break, we'll just let y'all know we're probably gonna come back a little bit more with Mr. Kane to see what else he got to wrap up with, because I know he got something that he wants to promote, and then we'll go into just some infrastructure moves across the southeastern Wisconsin, and me and Toya and the rest will see what we think about these new changes between Milwaukee and Kenosha. You're on Be a Voice, WNOB 860. Get come through with the clear TVs and the
What beat is this,
in the
though?
tween keys.
Dope, baby.
Yeah, we when we did together with the team. Of course, shout out Wisconsin Voices staff and the directors and supervisors, everybody in between. Tamika, Joe, Shanita, Angelique, Nicole. That means somebody. I did this last time. Of course, us, we in here, and Latoya and Brian. For sure. Yeah, we just wrapping it up. Before we go to our Milwaukee and surrounding areas stuff, what do you have real quick for everybody to know? What you got going on?
Listen, I'm dropping.
Well,
it in
take
the
your
chat.
time. You
Yeah,
got
yeah.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Let me set a timer. I got 3 Kojic minutes, you say? All right, I got 6 minutes. Amen. So I just put something in the chat for the folks watching online. I was privileged and honored to be selected for Forbes Magazine's Entrepreneurial Impact Award. We are in 3rd place. We need to get the 1st, right?
Okay. How we
There's
up?
a $25,000 award, and guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna buy a van. We're gonna buy a van so we can help get these young people where they need to be. It has been quite the opportunity, challenge, and burden to be getting up on a Sunday morning at 6 o'clock and using Lyft and Uber and driving around the city to get these young people to church. And so through our MIRROR AI program, MIRROR stands for Monitor, Engage, Recommend, and Advocate. AI stands for Alternatives to Incarceration. We are the only male provider in the county that works with the youth that are inside of the detention facility.
Mhm.
And when they come out, they get our mentorship program. We're getting the ankle monitors off. We're getting Apple Watches. We are beating court cases, and we are educating the families on how they can advocate for themselves.
That's
So I got
great.
super frustrated last December. I started volunteering at Velar Phillips for 6 months. Went in, shout out to Tina Collins, got a call and said, "Hey, can you come speak to the youth?" I'm like, "Sure." How much time I need? 30 minutes. All right, cool. So I get there and I see all these dynamic speakers. Shout out to Ed Hennings, my brother. He's doing some major things. He is also one of the Entrepreneur Impact Award recipients. So make sure y'all vote for him too. And we're in separate categories. There's no conflict. It's my brother. Ed was there. Wes Care was there. Von Mays, Mike, all of these people was there. And I'm like, God, please let me go last. Allow me to not have to rush. And because I went last, I ended up being there for 6 hours. I ended up seeing a young man that I knew in community, someone who I made a reference for before, and now I'm seeing you incarcerated. So I get this big knot in my throat. And I don't know what to do because I don't want to make him feel soft. I don't want to be all in his face and he got to go back in the pod in, an hour or so. And so eventually I end up talking to him. And shout out to Tarsha Wiggins and Trap Therapy, man. This was during her Trap Therapy session. She was the lead. We was the backup, right? I was singing in the background. And so the young man became remorseful at one point, and some tears started to fall, and Tarsha waves me over, and I come over and I gave him a hug, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna get you out of here. And I start making calls. I start contacting different people to figure out what are the rules of engagement. This is new to me. I know nothing about this space, and so I was told that I needed to contact something called a human service worker. Back in the day, y'all called them parole officers. So a human service worker, I found out the young man's court date. I was able to go in and work with him, and it was an uphill battle, getting him to do things he needed to do. There's a movie out right now by Angel Studios called Brave the Dark. That was art. That was us. I'm trying to help this guy, and he don't really want it. And then one day I go to the football game after a big argument between us, and he hits me up the next day. He said, wait, we on the same team, so if I don't play my role, we gonna lose the game.
Right.
Everything changed after that. And so we go to court. I get super frustrated. I submit documentation, evidence, everything, but I don't know the process. I'm the outside guy. I'm a dude from the community with not too many resources in this. And so I got so frustrated. I went to the barbershop. Take note to what I'm saying, y'all. Go get your hair done. It's the reason why my hair covered up today, right? But I went to the barbershop. I paid for somebody to get their hair cut, got them out the barbershop because I wanted privacy, and I had to repent because I started cussing like a sailor. And I was so angry about what I had just experienced. I was embarrassed. I was frustrated, but I had to have that professional decorum. While I start having my moment, God was giving me the steps that I needed to create the Mirror AI program. And literally, I remember a few months back, I was like, man, the dream came true. The human service worker, an attorney, the level 2 person from St. Charles, they all came to my office. We drew up a plan and we went in there and we executed. So last January, we beat our first felony case. This January, we beat our second felony case. And the thing is, these young people don't have the mental capacity to know the outstanding effects of what they do. And so if we don't have the people in place and position to help steward over them, show them new things, give them exposure, right? Get them to see all the buttons and all the things, or how to use your cell phone and get that 4K video so you can make some money. When we don't have that, we have some of the adverse effects that we see out here in the community. And so I'm grateful because we have our Mirror Cares program, Mirror AI, right? We talked about the Impact Award. I put it in the chat. Look, if you watch it on Facebook, I just dropped it in. If you didn't watch on Facebook, you should be following the WNOV page. Get out here and vote. It's several rounds. We have 2 days left. We in third place. We need to get to first place. And after this, there's going to be another set of rounds. So just know, man, I'm excited about that. And I'm looking at my time. Something else that I am prayerful about is Mirror stands for Monitor, Engage, Recommend, and Advocate. Sometimes when you get into a fight, you got to get your lick back. So I'm about to get my lick back. Mirror will now have a division that stands for Maternal Excellence, Recovery, and Advocacy. And we will use our technology that we've done in the mental health space and now in the justice space to help women who are expecting. How do you see where you're at? How do you, control your heart rate and use those attitude adjustment playlists? And eventually through a partnership with one of the universities in the Midwest, we'll be able to look at the contractions too. So y'all stay prayerful. Come to our website, www.mirrorcares.com, and just sign up for the newsletter.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for all your amazing hard work in the community. You are a true leader in the community, and we appreciate you. And we all need to make sure that he wins on that Forbes list. So we all need to get active. He dropped the link in there. Call and vote. And you got another round too. So we got to do it not just this time. You got to keep going. You got to keep doing it again so we can make sure that he gets the acknowledgement, not only the acknowledgement, but also that $25,000 to get that van.
We need to listen. I mean, and being transparent on a Sunday with the young people, we be together for 8 hours. I'm not even able to bill for most of this stuff.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the food. They need clothes for court.
Okay.
You know, they need some hygiene products. Whatever it is, we're taking care of that, and we're not asking for anything. So by helping us win,
So we need
it's
the
another
community to help with that as well.
Yeah, throw all them
He's
plugs in.
doing
one more time.
amazing work in the communities. He's winning.
Yeah, throw all them plugs in one more time.
Man, listen, mirrorcares.com. Go to mirrorcares.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Mirror Cares on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, social media. Yes, we still got TikTok. I ain't delete mine. Some of y'all do. But I will say
We got it
this.
to April.
I know that we're closing. I seen a post that said we cannot be more outraged about TikTok than we are about losing our civil rights and liberties.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So the way they step up for that, excuse me, cutting you off, but the way they stepping up for that, you need to be stepping up for your civil rights and the rights that among all of us in our community.
This is Be a Voice with Wisconsin Voices. We had a great interview with our brother Montreal. And thanks for coming. And thanks for all the amazing work you've been doing in the community. We'll see y'all next week. We out. Peace.